Good morning, England. I hope your breakfast is swell. I'm sure you have all seen the groundbreaking trailer to the newly revealed 8th Harry Potter movie. Here with me today we have Chloe Bayliss, who will be playing as...
I am playing Alison Granger, and she is Hermione's long-lost sister.
You heard it here, folks. Hermione's long-lost sister. Been lost for many years.
Yes, it's a big, shocking reveal. Even Alison herself had no idea she is related to them. It's a massive plot twist. No one saw it coming. So it's a very exciting movie.
Took social media to storm.
Yes, I've had so many people DMing me on like Twitter and everything. It's blown up Twitter completely.
Oh yes, I've seen that. Trending all over the place.
Yes.
So, first of all, I'd like to ask how production has been.
Oh, it's been going really well. It was such fun. I've loved it. It's the biggest movie I've been in my career, and it's just been amazing. The cast and crew are so lovely. They're so friendly, and the director himself, he's been so supportive and gives amazing feedback for a scene. So it's just been the opportunity of a lifetime, and I've loved every moment of it.
You mentioned how this is the biggest production you've been a part of. What productions have you been a part of before?
Well, I was an extra in the Hunger Games movie. I was one of the little kids in District 12. And I've also been in the Peter Rabbit live movie. I was an extra in that one as well. And then I had a main role in Supernatural, the movie that was released. That was an American one, but I played a British character. I was Crowley's relatives. He's one of the demons in the show, and yeah, that was lots of fun. I loved that one as well. But this is my biggest.
So this is the first time you're really playing a big role in a movie.
Yes, it's been challenging. It's been a lot of hard work, a lot of extra time out of rehearsals and out of shooting. But I love my character and I love the movie, and it's just I've enjoyed every moment of it.
Can imagine. Must be quite an honour.
Yes, I love the Harry Potter movies. They are a key international franchise. Everyone loves it wherever you go, all over the world. And so it's kind of like you're taking up a very big mantle when you're part of this universe and this movie role. But I hope that I've played my part well and that I have become an iconic role in the movie series.
Yeah? So far it seems people do love you as the actor.
Yes, I've had lots of supportive feedback from the trailer. So it's been lovely.
That's great. What do you think of your character?
She is more or less the opposite of Hermione in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Hermione is very studious and supportive and smart. She's very realistic. Whereas Alison is more of a kind of dangerous character. She is a free spirit. She does what she thinks is best, and she's more of a lone wolf. She's never really fitted in with anyone before. She doesn't really have the kind of friendship group that Hermione had with Harry and Ron. But she's a very strong-willed character, and I think she speaks to a lot of females in the way that she kind of goes about what is best for her. She doesn't let anyone stand in her way, and I admire that in her.
Makes me wonder where she's been all these years.
Oh, I can't really say without revealing too much about the movie, but
Understandable.
What I can say is that she was Hermione's parents gave her up when she was born, when they found out that she had magic, because they were scared of it. She was a very kind of explosive child, so they had to give her away, and she was in a magical taming facility for most of her childhood, and she had no idea that she was related to Hermione at all. And it wasn't until the facility was kind of blown up during the Great War with Voldemort and everything that she kind of got out and found out who she was. So it's been a massive reveal, and you see that in the trailer. It's all that was all shown in the trailer, but without saying anything more, it's a big reveal. It's a big shock.
Yeah, that's really big. That's really big. So what was it that actually made you want to play such a role?
Well, like I've said, I'm a massive Potterhead. I love the movies. I love the books. It's one of those things you can just kind of read over and over again without ever getting dull. And same with the movies. And even the soundtrack, that was a big part of my studying as a student. I used to listen to that a lot. But it's the fact that those movies kind of got me through a lot of rough patches. There was always a thing that I enjoyed and that I knew I could always go and watch to feel better about myself and to feel better about my rubbish day that I was having. It was just kind of that always supportive and just this lovely thing that it was so interesting and so fascinating, this whole world that was created. So it's really been an honour to be able to be part of it. I've loved every second.
I bet you never expected to make it
something
so big.
When I auditioned for the role, I had no idea that I was actually going to get it. When you do this industry, you will sign up and you will audition for a role, but a lot of the time you do get rejected for them, and that's just part of the acting world. So to have actually landed the role and to have done so well in it so far and have so much positive feedback from it, and to have successfully gotten through an entire movie of it, it's just been amazing.
So you finished recording completely at this point?
We have just got to do a couple of final scenes and then we have completely finished production, which is very upsetting because it's a massive family that we've created. And when you make any show or movie or anything, you do become very close with everyone. So yeah, it's going to be very sad. It's when it's over, but that's when you have all the press releases and the movie release and everything to look forward to, and the premiere. That's going to be very exciting.
Yes, I can imagine you'll be first in line.
Yes.
Being a big Harry Potter fan yourself, how has Harry Potter really influenced you growing up? Aside from it, apart from enjoying watching the films and reading the books and listening to music growing up, how would you say it's influenced you to go down this path? Has it really? How's it?
Well, I very clearly remember the first time I watched The Philosopher's Stone, and I did watch the movie before the books. I know that's not. I know people have controversial views about that, but I remember watching the first movie with my parents and my family, and it was instantly captivated by it. Instantly. I just instantly fell in love with the story and with the characters and the world. It was just this enchanting, safe place that was just fun and magical at the end of the day. And I instantly loved it, and I've always wanted to be able to be part of this. And when I was growing up, I used to play with the toys and dress up. I had my own firebolt and everything. Because I was just in love with it. It was my obsession.
That's great. That's really great. Do you think the movie will actually... Because the movie is not linked to any books. This upcoming movie is a standalone thing. It's not based on a novel like the others.
Yeah.
It's completely new. Do you think it will link? Do you think the canon will link? How do you think it's actually gonna connect?
Well, this movie is set several years after the last one. It's a kind of jump forward in time, and it doesn't follow the storyline of the Cursed Child play either. It's very much its own thing, and it follows the trio when they are in their early 40s, I believe. That's how old the characters are.
Yeah.
They've all got kids at Hogwarts. Some of the kids have already graduated or are about to graduate. And it's very much the kind of afterwards kind of thing. But it does link in. There are a lot of references to the previous movies and to the books. You do see lots of the old faces come back. So yes, it does link into the old movies. It is very much part of the same thing.
Great. I understand that you're an aspiring actor, but aside from Harry Potter, what else actually inspired you towards this career? Is there anything other than Harry Potter which made you?
Well, I did a lot of acting when I was in school. when I was in junior school, I would always sign up to the Christmas production that we had. I was Lucy in a filming that we did for Narnia. I remember I had to crawl through a cardboard box that we called a wardrobe. I've also been in a Christmas Carol in junior school, and I was an extra. I was a schoolgirl. I got to wear a Victorian uniform. I loved it. I've also been a bunny in Snow White. They gave me a tail, and I had face paint on, and it was probably the most humiliating role I've ever had to play. But that's really what started it all. And in high school, I did GCSE drama. I have played roles in Blood Brothers in school, and then for my A-level, I also do A-level drama, and that's also been so much fun. It's a very kind of inclusive and friendly kind of atmosphere, and it really kind of got me through all of my exams, being able to go up to class and just have some fun and mess around and do some weird physical theatre stuff.
But funny you mention how the humiliating role you play, a rabbit. It must be nice to be a human for a change.
Oh yes. This is several years ago, but I have played some very weird roles over the years. For my A-level, I once played an army soldier, and I had to yell at the boys in my group to start doing push-ups and exercises, and I had to really kind of go out for this role. You could actually see in the footage spittle coming out of my mouth, and it's really embarrassing. But that's what they wanted. They wanted me to go all for it, and I've played some weird characters, but I've loved all of them. I've loved every experience.
About this character you're playing now, you say they're a magic wielder, and that was how human would you actually link this? It's not playing like a regular human role. Like, it's really magical, it's really mystical, and all these mystical kind of characters.
She's a very sensitive magical character in the way that any little thing kind of triggers some kind of magical outburst.
Oh,
like you see in the Fantastic Beasts movies, with the characters in there, the smallest thing kind of triggers them, so you have some kind of magical outburst, and that was set during the war period. It's the early 20s. Magic wasn't as controlled as it was in the modern period. She's a very sensitive character, and you see that a lot throughout the movie.
I can imagine that'll be very interesting. Very, very sort of Frozen aesthetic going on here. You know, with the explosive powers.
Yes, she does have her own little outburst, and she feels very secluded from the rest of the Wizarding world because she didn't really grow up in it properly. She was kind of separated from it from a distance because of how people thought she was dangerous. But she kind of learned to evolve and to kind of get used to it, and Hermione really helps her with that throughout the course of the movie.
That's great. Like, what does Hermione really think of her sister?
At first, I think Hermione was very shocked by it. She didn't expect it. She doesn't have any other siblings. Harry and Ron were the closest thing she ever had to family in that sense. So she feels like she missed out on a lot, not having her sister throughout her childhood. But I think she kind of gets used to the idea of it, and she very much throughout the course of the movie tries to kind of relive the experiences of childhood that they never had together.
I see. So would you say that the movie is very centred around Hermione and her sister? Or does it really have
It has a general overall storyline, but it does focus quite a bit on Hermione and her sister trying to get to know each other. That is like what you would call like a subplot to it.
I see. So, are you looking forward to the future of the Harry Potter franchise?
If this movie goes well, which hopefully it should do, because we've had so much positive feedback already, then there could be a big future for Alison and what she does in the Wizarding world and what she's capable of, because she is very strong. She's a very powerful witch, and I'm looking forward to see how she uses that in the future. So yes, I hope that we can continue.
Very interested to see her really adapting to the Wizarding world.
Yeah.
The Wizarding world that they all know.
Yes, because it's kind of like she's come up out of a bomb shelter after 50 odd years, theoretically, and to have the world completely changed to what you thought it was, and to have it's very alien to her. And she's trying to adjust to it, and she's trying to get used to all the weird creatures and the weird kind of customs that she keeps being thrown into, and it is very much a shock to her, and she has to adjust, and she does struggle throughout the movie. You'll see that a lot, but she will hopefully get there in the end.
Does she go to Hogwarts at all?
She is older than Hermione, so technically she shouldn't, because she would have passed already, but because of her background, there may be the possibility, can't say too much, of her maybe going to Hogwarts and doing a few years of study there so that she can adjust to the wizarding world.
She must really stand out to the other students there then.
Yes, I imagine she would do, as you would in any kind of school. If you have people from a higher age in your year, it's always just like, are you okay? Do you need extra support and everything? She might get a bit picked on, but she is stronger. She is a very strong-willed character, and she won't let any of that get to her, because she, at the end of the day, she wants to improve herself.
I can imagine she uses Hermione against her a lot in that case.
Because Hermione is this picture-perfect student at Hogwarts. She is very kind of famous. She's like a legend, an alumni, you could say. She is the kind of ideal role model, and to be constantly reminded of that all the time, it kind of makes you remember what Harry must have felt like when he went to Hogwarts, because he was so famous because of being, the boy who lived. Everyone knew who he was, and everyone treated him differently because of that. So because she is Hermione's sister, and because Hermione has become a hero or heroine, you could say, in herself, it is very much a kind of repeat of how Harry felt when he first started at Hogwarts.
I see. Well, what does Harry and Ron really feel towards this character?
They're very wary of them. They don't trust, especially Ron. He doesn't trust Alison at all. He thinks she's this kind of evil being who's trying to ruin them from the inside, trying to get into them and trying to kind of break them up, because he still is very much kind of stuck on the fear and the paranoia that he felt during the Battle of Hogwarts, and through the whole course of the movies and Deathly Hallows, with the fear of Voldemort constantly and the Death Eaters everywhere. He's very much stuck on that fear and that anxiety, so he doesn't trust Alison at all. Harry is more kind of in the middle. Yeah.
I see. I see. If you're allowed to tell us, are you allowed to give us a quote from your character?
You do see it kind of in the trailer.
Oh yeah. That one line.
Yes, there was one line. We'll say it now. I'll say it in character. We'll get into character. She says, "We may be sisters, but I don't see you as family."
Very emotive, but very emotional character. It's going to be a big emotional change for her.
I think Alison has to try and adjust to the idea of having a sister herself.